Welcome back into Rounding Third Baseball, episode 256, the All-Dork lineup featuring Baseball History Dork. I'm Nick. Harrison's on vacation in Disney, like always. So we have filling in Baseball History Dork. How are we doing tonight?
We are doing very well. How are you?
Doing great. I can't wait to get into this. This was me and you were talking back and forth, and the ideas behind this is incredible. So we will get into it. But first, make sure you follow and like us on Facebook. You can subscribe on YouTube. You can follow on Instagram, Rumble, and TikTok. You can also listen on Spotify and Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts. We also have our affiliate sponsors, Dick's Sporting Goods, MLB Shop, and Lids. You can find these links on the tops of all of our socials. So if you do any shopping with these companies, please do so through our links as we get a nice little kickback with no additional cost to you. Just a great way to support the podcast. We also have Rounding Third merch on Rounding Third Baseball on Etsy. We have sweatshirts, t-shirts, tumblers, phone cases, a whole bunch of stuff. Just another great way to support the podcast and get our name out there. We also have our Patreon. We're starting to build a small little community where we can do playoff watch parties. You can get exclusive merch. And just a great way for baseball fans to connect at a smaller level and have more intricate access to us. So join us on Patreon. All right, here we go, Forrest. Baseball History Dork or Forrest contacts me. He's like, I have a great idea for this, and I'm running with it. And go ahead, introduce it. I can't wait to dive into this.
Well, I'm full of ideas, but it's been far too long since I've been back here, and I just had to do something that, I had to wait till I had something that had a little soul. And, you know me, I've introduced myself on the show before by telling you that Baseball History Dork, it's all about my nerdy side for the history, but also just that I revel in the humor. And I just think that the humor in the game of baseball is part of its soul. So, I mean, it's just irreplaceable. You can't take that away. This is a team of dorks. It's kind of the funny side of the game. It's the flakes, the clowns, and the full-blown screwballs. It might not be the best players who are funny at each position, and it may not even be the funniest players. In fact, I'm going to break your hearts right away because I just want to let you know there's not going to be a Euchre. There's not going to be a Yogi Berra, no Satchel Paige. Who else are we missing? Casey Stengel. They're not there. I think they demand more of a plaque on the outfield wall. And I don't think we have time on this show to go over everything they've contributed.
Yeah, and that's fair. As someone that's putting out like my own lineups of like different criteria, and people in the comments are giving it to me too. It's like, hey, like you can create your own lineup. Like this is mine. Like that's what makes baseball so incredible. Is like you value something that I necessarily don't, and I value something that you don't. Like it, and it's not wrong. Like that's the thing that I want to bring to this page, and you do a great job in your page. Is like people can have different opinions, and neither one is wrong. Like there's no such thing as a right opinion and a wrong opinion in my eyes. Everybody values baseball differently. Absolutely. So, all right, we ready to dive?
Absolutely, and I'm sure the comment section's gonna.
Yeah, I can't wait. All right, are we ready to kick this thing off? All right, let's go. We're starting off with a bang on this first one. So this one is incredible.
Yep. We're going to start off with the battery. We're just going to go through the lineup, number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 in the lineup. So starting with the pitcher, number 1. I chose Bert Blyleven. I'm a Minnesota guy, as I've said before, and he's kind of the first guy that came to mind. A lot of you may not know his nickname during mostly earlier on in his career. I think his nickname was the Frying Dutchman awesome. Because of his skill with the hot foot. And I don't know if everybody knows, some of the younger people may not know, the hot foot is you actually stick a book of matches in someone's shoe and light it up, and you light their shoe on fire.
Right.
And I don't advocate that kind of behavior necessarily, but it is part of the history of the dorkism of baseball. Therefore, we have to cover it.
Yeah.
And like I said, he earned the nickname the Frying Dutchman. He even gave Tom Kelly a hot foot, manager of the Minnesota
That's
Twins.
funny.
So, I mean, yeah, he went to the top there. And then I think it was while he was with the Texas Rangers. It was either the Rangers or the Pirates, but one of those teams had a fire extinguisher in the clubhouse, and it had a sign on it. It said, "In case of Blyleven, break glass."
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how notorious he was.
Yep.
You know,
I mean,
he was just.
I was just gonna say. I mean, like, you're a character when you're wearing a T-shirt like this. I love to fart. I mean, you're just like, people in the clubhouse are aware of what kind of player you are and what kind of person you are.
Yeah, that picture right there is kind of the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
But I think that's everybody's favorite picture of Bert Blyleven, honestly.
Yeah. I love that I found an autographed baseball with the quote on there too. It's absolutely incredible.
Oh, that's nice work, Nick.
Yeah, absolutely not.
Yeah, he was crazy. I mean, he was a devilish, just a naughty child. Sometimes, he would light people's shoes on fire. He'd put their shoes in the freezer, cut the front of their socks off. I mean, he was just constantly doing crap like that.
Man, I would not want to be a rookie around him. That's for sure.
Yeah, no kidding. One of the really good ones, though, I just wanted to share with you to top it all off with Blyleven, the 1979 World Series, right? The Pittsburgh Pirates are down 3-2, and Blyleven's not worried. He hasn't really participated a whole lot, but he's not worried. One of his fellow pitchers, he's nicknamed Pighead, and before Game 6, Blyleven brought in an actual pig head and stuffed it in this man's locker just as a joke, just to be funny, and lighten the mood in the entire clubhouse, and they ended up winning the next 2 games in the World Series.
That's crazy.
We are family.
Yep. I don't know my reaction if I came in and saw an actual pig head in my locker. That I don't know.
I'd probably cry.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Man, that's awesome. All right.
Yeah. So, Blyleven's battery mate, Rick Dempsey, this guy, one of the all-time screwballs. He's famous for his rain delay entertainment, and this is mostly when he was a member of the Baltimore Orioles. But he didn't keep it in Baltimore. He would do it. I mean, he did it in Milwaukee. He did it in Boston. He did parodies of everyone from Babe Ruth to Robin Yount.
That's incredible.
And I believe the pillow stuffed underneath his jersey is his Babe Ruth.
That's incredible. So
he would swing an imaginary bat. He'd go running around the bases on the tarp and slide in the water and everything. And yeah, and I did not find a picture of this, or I would have shared it with you because I know you want to see it. He one time wore jockey shorts over his uniform because he wanted to mock Jim Palmer for that BBB ad or whatever he did. Haynes, what it was.
That's incredible. Yeah. This reminded me. Then I sent you the video of Robin Ventura doing the Mike Piazza impersonation, like on the tarp, and absolutely nailed the impersonation. So I'll have to go back and look at videos of Rick Dempsey doing them because I bet they're incredible.
Yeah. And I really think you ought to put that Ventura video up on your page because he's not kidding. It is spot on, guys.
Yeah, it was awesome.
It's like, I thought it was Piazza for a second.
Yeah, the whole like hand up, like holding, waiting for time. And like, yeah, he crushed it. But
just everything.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So the most amazing thing about Dempsey, though, he recruited teammates to get in on this act. And at one point, it was called the Dempsey and the Invisible Orioles Band. and he even got Eddie Murray to participate. I see Eddie Murray as kind of a serious, no nonsense
Yeah,
kind of guy, but he jumped in on it.
that's awesome. That's incredible. Yeah, we were kind of
Uh-huh.
talking a little bit too. It's like I'm glad that we're bringing back the fun side of baseball because I mean we see it from time to time, but it just doesn't seem like it's as prevalent now as it was. Like, baseball's a business. Baseball is serious. Like we have to win all the time, which I mean these guys were trying to win all the time too, but just seemed like these guys had more fun with the game than more business like as now. But
I think that's very true,
yeah,
unfortunately.
wow. Yep,
And
I'm going to do some research on Rick Dempsey tonight. So thanks for that rabbit hole for us.
please do. It behooves you all to do research on Rick Dempsey. I
Yep.
promise.
All right, we are heading down the first baseline. We probably could guess who this one was.
Yep, John Kruk. I mean, we all know how he handled the situation in the All-Star game when Randy Johnson almost killed him. I mean, it was such. I think America fell in love with John Kruk that night because he was so good natured about it, and he was just.
Yeah.
I mean, he took it so well, but there was so much more to him. Everybody's probably heard the quote. He told someone who kind of criticized him for his the shape he was in. He said, "Lady, I'm not an athlete. I'm a ball player."
Yep.
And I think that really sums up John Kruk's whole approach to the game.
Yeah.
There's a story that kind of relates to that when he was playing in Colorado, and with the thin air up there, he hit a single when he got to first base, and he was telling the first base coach, "I don't want to run to first base," and we're like, "Well, do you want to put in a pinch runner?" And he's, "I just don't want to run to first base." And the coach is like, "It's kind of how it works, you gotta."
Yeah, right.
I don't know what we're gonna do if the next guy gets a hit, right?
Man, yeah, and he's still electric in the booth. Like if you've heard any of the latest Phillies games, like he's in the booth and he is still an absolute clown up there. I absolutely love it. It's funny. He is so funny.
Yeah,
Love it.
Yeah,
he comes up with some great one-liners for sure.
Yeah, he's had so many reasons to enjoy him. He gave Mitch Williams. Mitch Williams came to the Phillies after Kruk did, and Williams wanted his number 28, and so John Kruk sold it to him for 2 cases of beer. He said he had heard about players getting like $10,000 just to fork over their number to another player, but he was like, "Oh, 2 cases of beer, I'm good."
Yep. That sounds like my type of deal right there. A lot cheaper.
Yeah. And it's like you said earlier about Dempsey, you want to go and look him up. I think it if you haven't seen his appearances on the Letterman show, he did I've probably seen 3 or 4 of his appearances on Letterman, and they're all hilarious, and I think you would do well to check those out.
Yeah, Philly fans are definitely well rehearsed in this guy. They definitely know what he brings to the ballpark and the booth every day. But if you haven't seen a lot of John Kruk, like you need to, he's absolutely hilarious. Yep.
Yeah, he's a national treasure.
For sure.
And it's I wanted to bring this up too. I mean, when he took some time off, he had cancer. He had testicular cancer. Cancer is never a funny thing, but I've heard from many people who have had it. Sometimes the only way you can get by is with humor, and I'll say this: Kruk definitely embraced the, he got some laughs out of it, and even afterwards, it's there may be some residual kind of trauma, and it's the only way you can get by, and he really did. And everyone around him kind of rallied around that.
Yeah. And that just goes to show what kind of guy he is, right? I mean, your back's against the wall, you're dealing with something like that, but decide to deal with it with humor. That's incredible. Love that.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to second base. One of the best interviews I've ever heard in my life. This kid is incredible.
Okay. Got mixed up. We got mixed up this kid with the next guy. They're interchangeable. They both played second base and shortstop, so we'll go with it. Munenori Kawasaki. He played for the Toronto Blue Jays for just a few years in the 2010s. And if you're not aware of him, I mean, there's some short clips, but they're packed with information. Yeah. His interviews are just classic. Yeah. This is a man with a strong affinity for bananas and what they can do for your body and as an athlete. He recommended 3 bananas a day because, quote, monkeys never get cramps. That's what he said. I don't know how he knows that.
Yeah.
But and he's still playing in Japan. Oh, wow. He's still doing well. He was in great shape. He would always do these instead of just your regular run-of-the-mill warm-ups. He was always dancing. I mean, he was always throwing himself around and all kinds of nonsense on the field.
Yeah, I mean, his interviews are absolutely one of a kind. They're incredible. Kind of now, like modern day, like Shota Imanaga is starting to kind of take that torch and run with it too, because he's kind of brought some life to that Chicago Cubs team, and it reminded me a lot of what Kawasaki brought to the Blue Jays for sure.
Well, yeah, no kidding. And then they made their playoff appearance back in what was it, 2013, I think, and they during the clubhouse celebration, he was in the midst of the champagne and everything, and somebody brought up bananas, and he was, "We don't need bananas, we need more champagne."
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. So.
All right.
Okay. Adrian Beltre. I think we maybe skipped second base.
Who is it? Is it Rabbit? Yeah, it's coming up. It's after this one. Because I thought he was short. I thought he was shortstop, so that was my bad.
Yeah, that's fine. All right. So Adrian Beltre. This guy, I've recently become a very big fan of Adrian Beltre. I knew a few things, but I had no idea how great he was. I mean, he had all-star game level fun all throughout the regular season at all times, even during pitching changes.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy, there's that the picture I've got on there beside the Texas Rangers logo. It's him and Rougned Odor jousting. I guess Odor was trying to give him a Gatorade shower and he wasn't having it, so he picked up a broom and Odor's got the Gatorade and they're just like, ah. I mean, that was classic.
Yeah.
And it didn't stop with him, though. I mean, it's him and Elvis Andrus. I mean, they were practically like Abbott and Costello of baseball.
Yep.
And modern day comedy duo. There was, I mentioned the mound visits earlier, but he'd be clowning around with Andrews even while the pitcher was being changed. I guess there was this odd thing between them where Andrews would be touching his hair and he didn't like it, so he chucked his glove at him during a mound visit. And there's another clip where Beltre hit a home run, and while he's in the dugout running the gauntlet afterwards, Andrews chased him all the way down, touching his hair the whole time. And of course, he turns around and just smacks him.
Yeah,
it's just classic.
Yeah,
stuff.
He hated his head being touched for whatever reason, just hated it. And Andrews knew that and just exploited it every opportunity he could. It was absolutely hilarious. But I love, my favorite clips of them are the infield pop-ups. because like you'd see
Yeah.
the infield pop up, go up, and as a viewer, you just see both of them camped underneath it, right next to each other, and you're like, "Who's catching this?" You wouldn't know who caught it until after the play was over, because even the cameraman's like, "I don't know who's catching this ball." Yeah, yeah, it was absolutely
Yep.
hilarious. Those two were so fun to watch. I wish I could have seen them every day, but I bet Texas Rangers fans miss those days for sure.
I miss those
Yeah.
days. I mean, they're deliberately screwing around in the middle of a game.
Yeah, yeah.
You don't get away with that too much.
I mean, both of them were at their prime there in the heart of that Texas Rangers team for a while. So I guess when you're at that level, you're allowed to screw around a little bit and be okay. But
Yeah.
absolutely
They
incredible.
pulled it
Yep.
off.
But yeah, Adrian Beltre, like, I mean, obviously Hall of Fame talent, dude was ridiculous wherever he went. I think it was like 100 career home runs, 3 separate teams. Selfishly, as a Red Sox fan, I was mad to have him for only 1 year, but
No, it's understandable.
yeah, but yeah, loved all the clips that we can still see of Beltre. It's incredible.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Everybody on this list brought so much more than just this goofiness that I'm bringing to you tonight. I mean, they all had great contributions.
1,000%.
Yeah. All right, the rabbit.
The rat.
So, I really wanted to bring you some 19th century, 1880s, 1890s players. I wasn't able to dig up a whole lot that was really. I mean, I couldn't forego some of these other players, so I wasn't able to work them in. But I got the rabbit for you.
Awesome.
He played from, I want to say 1914 to 1935 ish, and I mean, the man was he was never officially the clown prince of baseball. There actually were a couple of official clown princes of baseball, and he was never one of them, but he should have been. He would. There was an instance, at least one instance, where there was a massive brawl on the mound, and he just sauntered over to first base and started doing this pantomime act where he pretended he was fighting himself, just pounding the hell out of himself for the fans' amusement and to distract them.
That's funny.
Yeah, and then as a coach, he would hand the umpire a pair of glasses if they missed a bad call. Crap like that. The classics.
Yep. Man.
Yeah. My favorite Rabbit Marinville story is Rabbit was 5'5", and there was a moment where I believe he was called out at second base, and he disagreed, obviously, with the umpire, and he started arguing, and he wouldn't stop arguing. And one of his teammates kind of looking at his watch like, we got to get this game moving. So a teammate of his, who I believe was maybe 5'7", maybe 5'8", came and picked him up and physically carried him over to his position.
Yeah.
So, I think that was some shtick. I think that was part of an act. I mean, back then they were probably screwing around just as much as Beltre was.
Yep. Man, that's awesome. Yeah, there's so many guys like back in the day that I always joke about that I was born in the wrong generation and would have loved to have seen like some of these guys, what baseball actually was like back then. Like, did they take it as seriously as they do now? Like, did they have fun with it? Did they, how good was the talent? I mean, Rabbit's a Hall of Famer. So, I mean, like, how good was he? And was he the premier shortstop of that time? Like, I'd just love to go back for just give me a summer and I'd be happy. But that's awesome.
Yeah. Trying to think, for that time, maybe. It was at the end of Wagner's run, so I don't know. He was up there. One more thing I definitely want to share about Rabbit Marinville, and I think it's important. It's towards the end of his career, 1932, MLB. I don't know if it was the National League and the American League both did this, but definitely the National League. He was playing with the Braves at the time, and they put in a rule where it prohibited players from talking to each other and players from talking to fans. And I think we can all kind of agree that's part of the thing that injects the humor into the game. Catcher talking crap to the hitter, and hitter gets to first base, and the first baseman says, "How's your wife and my kid?"
Right.
But Marinville, he just wasn't having it. He was quoted in the Boston Globe around that time. He said, "Look what it does to baseball. You can't sign scorecards for kids or baseballs for kids, something that's been making friends for the game for years." I mean, he knew that connection with the fans was everything.
Yeah, and that's so far ahead of its time. It's not even funny. I mean, you can kind of see the difference now. You go to a MLB game, and they got the nets up. It makes it harder for fans to connect with the players, but it is important. It's really important for current players, former players, to give back to the fans. I mean, ultimately, we're the ones that are, providing your paycheck, right? I mean, back then it was a lot different, but he had the foresight to see, like, hey, this is important to grow the game, and you're kind of taking that away from us. That's a crazy rule. Was there like a big? Do you think there was like a big event that happened? Was there like a players brawl or something like that probably instituted that rule? Do you know?
That I don't know for certain, but I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, there was a ton of that kind of stuff going on. I would think earlier on than that, but you never know. I mean,
that still hasn't deterred him from doing it now either, but unfortunately. Crazy.
Either way, I just think that was really great of Rabbit to to take that stand publicly in the Boston Globe and say, hey, this isn't right. This is not good for the game.
That's absolutely incredible. Like I said, way ahead of his time there. That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into this guy. This guy,
all right.
As a Boston fan, I can't wait for this one.
Let's see, where are we? Oh, we're going to right field, are we? Okay. Got a couple other outfielders after that. Okay. Manny Ramirez. I think I can't decide if this guy is a flake or a screwball.
Yes.
The famous mantra is Manny being Manny, and there aren't too many players that have an expression of that nature that has followed them around. A lot of people take it as him being flaky or selfish or thoughtless or airheaded or whatever. And all of those are probably true in to some degree, but there's a lot more to it than that, I think. But my biggest memory of Manny Ramirez when he was a player was, I don't know if you remember this, every time he was interviewed in a post-game interview, he would stare directly into the camera the entire time.
I don't think I remember that. I'll have to go back and look.
I mean, he barely ever looked at the person asking him questions. He would just look into the camera.
That's funny.
It was just like, I've never seen anybody do that before.
Yeah.
I mean, he was a weird one. I mean, we all saw him cutting off Johnny Damon. What was he, like 20 feet away from Johnny Damon? And he
he had to lay out for it to cut it out and then throw from his knees. Crazy. Yeah.
I mean, he was an odd duck. He would leave, his paycheck in his uniform and forget that it was there, and the person doing the laundry for the Red Sox would find it. And he once lost a $15,000 diamond stud in the dirt and was never found, as far as I know.
Yeah. Well, if I'm the shortstop, I'm picking it up and putting it in my pocket. I'm not going to tell you that I found it. Just saying.
Yeah, I would look for it real casually, just kind of kicking dirt
Yeah.
around.
Mhm. Yeah, it's so we had the Red Sox trainer on, the former trainer. So he had a lot of interactions with Manny, and he said that Manny Ramirez was one of the hardest working players he had ever worked with. He just perfected his craft. He was there first thing in the morning, first one to the ballpark, hitting in the cages, taking extra swings. And then game time, like you said, it was just like Manny being Manny. He would pull out these antics, and you're just like, what are you doing? I mean, the Baltimore one, that one, I think you were going to bring it up where he catches that fly ball going back to the warning track. He catches it over his shoulder, climbs up the wall, high fives the fan,
Yeah.
and then turns around and doubles the guy off from first base. And you're just like, what are you doing? But yeah, incredible.
I mean, who makes time for that? Manny does.
Yep. Yeah. But
Manny was a man of the people, and he knew how to win. It's just, sometimes he had to take a break and go into the Green Monster and take a leak.
Happens. Yeah. I just don't know where he's taken that leak, but I don't really need to know or want to know. But hey.
I don't know what goes on back there.
I don't know either. But yeah, just absolutely incredible. I mean, one of the best, if not the best, right-handed swings, in my opinion, I've ever seen. Especially of this generation. Obviously, like I said earlier, I haven't seen the guys in the older generations play. I don't know what their swings look like, but I mean, one of the best, purest hitters of his time for sure.
Yeah. And, I mean, I don't want to open up a whole new can of worms, but, whether it was steroids or not, I mean, you put up the numbers that Manny Ramirez does. I mean, you can be a little flaky.
Yeah, you can deal with the antics for sure. Yeah. Yeah. He was incredible.
Yeah. All right. This man. This guy, he might be my favorite guy on this team that I've put together here. And he's another one that I didn't really know a whole lot about until real recently. He's and I was going to introduce him as a man named Mickey who played center field for the Yankees. Mickey Rivers. Throw people off. Right. But Mickey was a very interesting guy. He had this thing where he would walk up to the plate and he'd be all hunched over and staggering and whatnot, looking like he was all decrepit. And yet he ended up being, I think he stole the second most bases in a season since Ty Cobb in the American League anyway.
Oh, wow.
So he's just putting on this act like he's all hunched over and like an old man, and then he just pours on the juice. I mean, that's funny to me.
Yeah, he had 70 stolen bases in 1975. That led the league. Yeah, crazy.
I think someone else had 73, but that was it until way back in Cobb's time. So we talked about this a little earlier, but Mickey had a very interesting way of saying things. He said, my goal was to hit 300, score 100 runs, and stay injury prone. Now, I don't think that's what he meant.
Right. But, I mean, if you stay injury prone, you're not injured. So, like, I kind of get what he's saying, right? You're injury prone, but you're never injured. So, I mean, sort of get it, I guess.
But he also said the wind was blowing 100 degrees one time. So,
yeah, I didn't know much about him until you sent me the info on him that you wanted him in this lineup, and I started reading the quotes, and I'm like, this is like Yogi Berra Jr. to an effect, like, I mean, it's kind of the same type of speech and terminology. So it was pretty cool.
Kind of. There were a lot of guys in the really early days who would, I can't think of a good example, but there were guys that got their nickname because of names they called other guys, other players, and he didn't get a nickname like that, but he did make up a lot of words. Like he would call people Gozzlehead and Warplehead, and even Mickey Rivers doesn't know what the hell either one of those words means.
Fair. That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. One thing I wanted to share, and I thought this was really interesting, is in the movie Major League, where Willie Mays Hayes drives up to the complex in spring training, and he parks his, I don't know if he had a Mercedes Benz or whatever it is, he parks it outside, and the manager had to tell him, there is a parking lot. They got that scene directly from the life of Mickey Rivers.
Wow, that's cool.
Yep.
That's funny.
Yep. He was once traded for Oscar Gamble, who, another man who had a really interesting way of saying things. He was famous for his enormous afro, but he also, he was a wordsmith. So I just think it was pretty funny that they were traded for one another. One other thing I wanted to share about Mickey Rivers, I thought was pretty funny, was there was a point where the Yankees, when he played for the Yankees, they were replacing Sparky Lyle in the closer role with Goose Gossage, and Gossage was having a terrible time, and he got called into the game, and Mickey Rivers jumped onto the hood of the bullpen cart and said, "No, not again." He would not get off the hood of the bullpen cart.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. Oh man. Yeah, I'm looking at some of the quotes right now. It's just, some of them are funny, man. The first thing you do when you get out to center field is put your finger and check the wind chill factor.
The wind chill factor.
Yeah.
Well, maybe in the spring or October.
Yeah. Yeah. What was some other one? I was brought up in Florida, so there isn't much difference between playing there and playing here. The climax are about the same. Nice. Yeah. I mean, there's some good ones. I might have a commute, left field, DH, wherever. Commute. Yeah, there's a whole list of them. They're pretty good, man. Wow. Love it.
Yeah, this is the type of characters that we need.
Yeah, I'm with you, 1,000%. Bring it back.
I mean, whether it's intentional or not, it doesn't matter.
Nope, we need a good chuckle. That is for sure. All right, we got right field.
Yes. Yeah, last guy on the team, Mickey Hatcher. And I'm really aware of this guy just because I'm a Minnesota guy, and he played for the Twins for a while. And I had heard some things, but it carried over, everywhere he went pretty much. Just probably remember him at one point. I think he was running around the bases, and he tripped between third and home, and he had to crawl home. And there's a famous clip of him crawling and slapping his hand down on home plate saying, "I made it." And then I think he collapsed in the dirt. That wasn't the only time he ever did that. It happened when he was with the Twins too. He pulled a hammy and he didn't make it home that time, but kind of made a habit of crawling home.
That's funny.
And it didn't even involve alcohol.
Yeah, I didn't know much about him either. Again, kind of like a little bit before my time, but it sounded like he was like quite the locker room guy. Like always brought the humor to the locker room. And I read something about, I have the trophy there because he used to hand out the Bust Your Butt Award to one of his teammates every game, which is pretty crazy. But
yeah, and did you read about what that trophy involved?
I did, and I didn't want to really put it on, but I'll leave that to you. Go ahead.
Okay, so the Bust Your Butt Award, sponsored by Mickey Hatcher, it was nothing but a framed photograph of Mickey Hatcher mooning the camera. Now, if that isn't something that would inspire a teammate, I don't know what is.
Yeah, absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't want that hanging up in their locker?
Yeah, no kidding. He himself had a picture of Rodney Dangerfield in his locker, which kind of tells you the kind of guy he is. I mean, he was a clown. I mean, he would do anything to inspire his teammates, even when the camera. But there's a story while he was with the Twins during spring training. It was actually St. Patrick's Day, and he painted himself green. But he soon found out that I don't know what exactly the paint was, but it clogged his pores, and they couldn't get the paint off. And because it clogged his pores, it actually stopped his breathing. I mean, he was having trouble breathing anyway, and he required medical attention.
Dang.
So, I mean, you almost die for your humor.
Yeah.
It's just
right. Yeah, that's sticking to the shtick for sure. Yeah. Man, that's crazy.
Yeah, but it wasn't always such a madman though. There was the 1988 World Series. There was a time when a game when he hit 2 home runs, or well, actually he hit 2 home runs in the series. And after the second one, he came around and he did the old Bash Brothers thing with a teammate at home plate, right in front of McGuire and Canseco, obviously. And didn't work out so well for him, though. He almost broke his arm, he said.
Yeah, you're a little pumped up when you just hit your second jack in a World Series, I'm sure. But, man, that's funny. Yeah. Yeah, I knew nothing about him. Did some research on him last night, but it was pretty cool. Said that he kind of brought the rally caps back to his team as well. Was pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I had read that the '86 Mets kind of had a rally cap thing going on, so I wasn't sure how much he actually reinvigorated that. But I think it had been around. But I think whatever Mickey Hatcher does, people kind of follow his lead. So it was definitely something that was impactful.
Absolutely. All right. Well, now you've laid out the entire team, but you need to have somebody to manage this clown car. And you chose who?
Yeah. I chose Joe Madden. And I think I told you the other day, one of my first choices was actually going to be Ozzie Guillen, because I remember right around the time he was fired by the White Sox it was almost the same period where Charlie Sheen was having his public meltdowns almost on a daily basis. And for some reason, every time I think about Charlie Sheen's meltdown, I think about Ozzie Guillen, because every interview he did was just mad. It was just a train wreck, and he was just feisty all the time. But to me, that didn't really fit the theme, so we went with Madden. I guess what gets me about Madden, he's got the humor and the nerdiness of it all, because he's famous for screwing around with his lineups and tinkering and just kind of seeing what works and what doesn't. 2013, in 162 games, he probably used over 150 lineups.
Easy.
150 different combinations.
I think at one point he started hitting his pitcher in the 8 spot. And then it was I
wouldn't be surprised if it was higher than that.
But crazy.
Yeah, he screwed around a lot, and he actually he had a lineup that started with 867 5309.
Of course he did.
Yeah, the O would be the DH. I guess it's not really the 0 spot, but he said it was, so we're going to go with it. Yeah. He was kind of the master of just keeping his team loose. He actually forbid batting practice often, because it kept his team loose somehow. And
Yeah, he like you said, like tinkered with the lineup and like knew how, like he was so nerdy and dorky with it that like he could, I think I can't remember the time, I'm trying to find the exact date, but he brought in a righty relief pitcher, I believe, faced the batter. He put that pitcher in left field, brought in a guy from the bullpen that was left-handed, pitched to the batter, and then brought his left fielder, the pitcher that pitched the first batter, back in to face the third batter because he hadn't left the game. So he was able to still come in and pitch. And it was just like, wait, what is going on right now? But like that's a that's a dork and nerd move if I've never seen one before. Incredible.
That is a big time dork move, you're right.
But yeah.
Yeah. So that's kind of the nerdy side of Joe Madden, but there's the clown side of him too, and we got to talk about that. And again, it's all about keeping his team loose. I think that was his whole thing. He brought in zoo animals, and I'm talking about real zoo animals like pythons, penguins. I mean, it was just, it was a zoo.
Yep. Wow.
So, Madden kind of popularized the themed road trip. I think a lot of teams kind of do that now, but I mean, he took it to another level. He had like hippie theme, grunge theme, the Legion baseball theme, whatever, Miami Vice, Easy Rider.
Awesome.
You know, every road trip, they all had to toe the line and get in on the action, or you know.
That's awesome. I did not know that part of it. That's pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah. There was another one. It was like, I can't remember what it was. It was like neon formal wear or something like that.
I'm here for that one. I want that one. Yeah,
real specific.
That's sick. That is awesome, man. But yeah, this was awesome. Nice work. Yeah, man.
And I do want to say though, you know, just to close out Joe Madden, his mantra, and it actually got on a T-shirt at one point. His mantra was "Try not to suck." That was his advice for a young player on how to stay in the majors. Try not to suck.
I
think that's kind of what it's all about.
I need one of those T-shirts just for everyday life, just to be honest. But
I feel that.
But man, oh man. Well,
yep.
That was crazy. I can't wait to see what people have in the chat and the comment section for these, because I mean, like you said, and we said before, there's so many stories of guys goofing off and being dorky during the games. But this was an incredible lineup for us. You did a great job. We always
it was. Wait. Well, I was going to say it was really hard to narrow it down, and I'm actually going to do I'm probably going to do a full 25-man roster.
Yep. I can't wait for that. You are definitely welcome to come back on and finish the roster out. This was absolutely incredible. So,
what I'll give you is the rest of the pitching rotation. I'll give you the coaching staff, and I'll give you the play-by-play.
Oh, the play-by-play duo. That's a good one too. Man, there's so many good ones.
That's what we'll do next time.
Because I got a couple in my head for the play-by-play duo. It'd be interesting to see if you come up with those guys. But wow, absolutely incredible. Thanks again, Forrest. This was awesome. I love when you come on and throw some history at us. It's the best. It's an absolute blast. If you have not, if you have not followed Baseball History Dork and you are watching, you absolutely need to. His page is one of the best baseball pages out there. It's incredible what he pumps out. I learn something new in the baseball world every day. The history part of the game, I am not very well rehearsed on, and you inspire me to dig into the history more. So from me, I say thank you. But if you haven't followed him, please do. It's worth every second. So give him a follow.
I
Of course.
appreciate
And
that.
we will see you again soon, Forrest. Can't wait for the rest of the lineup. All right.
All
Take care,
right.
bud.
Yeah, have a good night.